Right. Well, welcome. Thank you so much for coming tonight. Tonight, we're going to be talking about building confidence through personal development and why these two are linked and how being able to develop yourself and your skills will allow you to build more confidence, to allow you to take more action in life, get more things done, and find more success, right? That's what we all want to do. So let's look at a few things first to start with, okay? So let's talk about the importance of confidence in general and why it is that we want to build that and do whatever it takes to be able to build effective confidence in our lives for ourselves, for those we interact with, and for being able to achieve our goals, because really it takes confidence to be able to get through any struggles we may have, any difficulties. We need to be able to do that. So let's look at a few bullet points that I have here on the slide, okay? So first of all, self-efficacy. All right. So why is this important, when it comes to confidence? Confidence is going to contribute to being to self-efficacy, which is the belief in our own ability to accomplish tasks and overcome challenges, right? That's what I was just saying before. I'm a former math teacher and I teach math. And one thing that I find that so many people do, and it just breaks my heart in two, I'll tell you, they give up. They try to do the problems, they can't do it. Maybe the teacher didn't teach them in a way that they can learn. They don't want to take the time to focus and they start to struggle and they just give up. And then what happens? The words, I hate math or I'm not good at math. Well, math is really, it exercises in logic and problem solving and being able to think and look at things from different perspectives. So it's really is meant to be a challenge. And if we just give up and don't try to overcome those little challenges, how are we going to overcome those big challenges that we have in life that comes up? What do you do when you have a sick child? What do you do when you have a sick family member? What do you do if you get sick or you have difficulties at work? Or you have difficulties with a friend or a family member. How are you going to get through these things if you don't have confidence to overcome the challenges and to accomplish tasks, right? So we want to make sure that we are building those things for ourselves and that we pursue goals, get goals down. I have a video in setting goals, so take a look at that. Okay. Now, also motivation. You're going to find that being confident is going to increase your motivation because when you believe you can do things, you are motivated to what? To do it. And even if it's the smallest thing, it's important to try and do that. Confident individuals are more likely to set ambitious goals, right? To just get past like the day to day. So say you are in a job, maybe it's just uh, maybe it's a service job, maybe you long for something more. You want to build the confidence that allows you to go the distance, to achieve more and not just be in that same routine day in and day out, which is often not fulfilling. And we want to be resilient. Confidence builds resistance, right? It helps people to bounce back. So going back to my example of teaching, which is actually my favorite, teaching math, I believe you have to be able to bounce back. You have to bounce back from getting problems wrong, from solving them incorrectly. You have to be able to look at how the problems were solved incorrectly and then look at how they should be solved, make that comparison, make adjustments, and then go forward to follow them in an improved way. And if we don't, then we're just going to think that we're a failure, that we're not good at things. But the truth is, we have to build skills. And learning something doesn't just happen that way. And you can ask, and I think to ask my sporty people, do you go right away and pick up a bat and hit home runs? Do you go and score goals for my hockey people or football people, or do you just get on ice skates or roller skates or roller blades and just get really good where you can do spins and turns and everything? No, you have to practice these things. So just remember, just because you weren't good at something at one point in time doesn't mean you can't get good at it. And that's where I feel like people just hit a brick wall, where they get in their head that they're not good at something and that they never can be. That's really not true. You really can get better at things. And I'm going to point out some websites too, going forward here to give you some examples. Now, also, having confidence gives you a positive perception and leads to being able to influence others and being able to have a positive perception on yourself, which allows others to have a positive perception of you. People who exude confidence are often seen as more capable, trustworthy, and competent, which can positively impact relationships and professional opportunities. Let's face it, confident people want to interact with other confident people. And when one person is not confident, that's going to make confident people less likely to want to interact with you. So we want to work with that to improve that. And we want to have effective communication. Confident individuals tend to communicate more effectively. We can communicate our ideas more effectively now. But you might be saying or thinking, what if I'm not confident? What if I don't speak well? Guess what? You can learn because you're confident, because you are a problem solver, and you're going to continue to develop your skills. And just because you're not good at speaking effectively now doesn't mean you can't become effective at speaking. You need to practice and get the right training, which again, I'm going to show in a few slides here. And then leadership. Confidence is a key attribute of effective leaders. We do not want to follow someone who is not confident. Leaders who display confidence inspire trust and commitment from their team members, and they are more likely to make decisions decisively and lead with conviction. So these are things that are very important. Also, risk taking. A confident person is more likely to be a risk taker. Confidence encourages individuals to take calculated risks. Those who believe in their abilities are more likely to step outside of their comfort zones. We don't get anywhere in life unless we step outside of our comfort zones. If we don't, we remain in that doldrum of the same old, because we're too afraid, because we lack confidence to be able to step outside. And it's really good for our emotional well-being to be confident. Confidence linked to a positive emotional state. Feeling confident can reduce anxiety and stress levels. When we don't, we kind of feel very anxious and what's wrong here, and it can be very stressful. We don't have enough knowledge. We don't know what we need to know. We're more uncertain about the world. These things can bring about some negative attributes. And then career success. Confidence is a significant factor in career success. whether in job interviews, presentations, negotiations, working with others. Those who exude confidence are more likely to be noticed and considered for advancement. All right, so and then it's just, so these 10 items, it's an overall quality of life. Confidence contributes to an individual's overall sense of well-being and satisfaction with life and enhance our ability to navigate challenges, build meaningful relationships, and pursue a fulfilling and purposeful life. All right, so now the connection between confidence and personal development, how those go together. We initiate action, okay? We're more likely to make things happen for ourselves when we're confident because we know we deserve it. We feel good. We know we have the skills to achieve our goals. So we write those goals out, we make sure that we build the skills to achieve them, and that all allows us to initiate action. I find that it's when people are not taking action, they get anxiety, depression, stress levels rise, because it's like that inaction, it all just sits in our heads and we're not making things happen for each other, for ourselves, and that causes a great deal of stress and trouble. Um, and then setting ambitious goals, more than just, okay, my goal for the week, go to the grocery store, get the car washed, pick up the kids. We want to do more. We want to have more ambitious goals. Maybe we want to start a business. Maybe we want to take that vacation. Maybe we want to score a new deal if we're in sales or whatever. So, and then it helps us to overcome challenges. Personal development involves facing and overcoming challenges. Okay. Confidence provides the resilience and determination needed to navigate obstacles. Learn from the setbacks. We just have to learn from it and try again. We can't give up. We want to embrace learning opportunities. I think something that's a little bit tragic is that people go to school and they get their, you go K to 12 and we go through high school and we think, huh, I'm done with school. That's it. Well, you may be done with school, but learning, you are not done with. We should be learning every day. Yeah, we don't have to like the way that K to 12 schools are set up and how the schools dictate what we need to learn, or how we have to act in the school. That may be not be everybody's first choice, but working on learning should still be in people's minds. And it's really sad when people get discouraged or think that they can't learn something, because I know they can. Let's remember, knowledge comes from books. We can get knowledge from videos. We can get knowledge from audio tapes. But a lot of the knowledge just comes from books. So whether you're in a classroom or you're reading something, absorbing knowledge, that's what we want to do. And we want to remember that there's a connection between the confidence personal development leads to improving communication, which we talked about. Confidence contributes to effective communication, allowing individuals to express their thoughts and ideas clearly. And often we need to practice these things. Also, we network and build relationships with people. Building a supportive network is crucial for personal development. And I find that you can do that through Meetup or, through school or other churches, other groups. We want to build a network to help us build relationships with other people. Also, adaptability and flexibility. Personal development requires adaptability and flexibility in the face of change. Confident individuals are more likely to embrace change. So watch out. So if you're someone who's afraid of change, no, this is how I am, or this is where I live, I can't do anything different, then you may consider that you have a fixed mindset rather than a growth mindset. You know, you want to gravitate to the growth mindset where you're not just set in your ways. And no one has to be set in their ways. That's a choice. You choose not to change. You can change if you want to. Other people can't just want you to change. Each individual person has to want to change. And then decision making. Confidence plays a role in decision making. Our decisions become much better the more confident we are. Personal development involves making choices that align with one's values and goals. So goal setting is very important, knowing where you want to go. Maybe you don't know how you want to get there or how to get there, but knowing where you want to go. Confident individuals are more likely to make decisions decisively and take responsibility. So we also want to take responsibility for our actions. I find a lot of people will look to point blame at other people instead of taking on the responsibility for themselves. Also, leadership development. We talked about that a little bit before. For those aspiring to leadership roles, confidence is crucial. It also gives us a positive self-image. Personal development is not about acquiring skills, but also cultivating a positive self-image. So we are improving ourselves and improving our image. So now let's look at some strategies for increasing personal development and confidence. All right, so you have self-assessment and goal setting, okay? You want to start out identifying your strengths and weaknesses. Let's see, what are you good at? What aren't you so good at? Which just because it's a weakness doesn't mean it can't be improved. Do you have effective speaking skills, or are you a good communicator? Do you have project management skills? Do you have leadership skills? Or are these things that you'd like to develop? So you can set SMART goals to achieve them. So, you know, SMART goals means making something measurable, putting a time limit on it, and being able to work towards those. And SMART goals, you can look up, there's actually templates on how you can write those. You can find a bunch of them out on the internet. So continuous learning and skill enhancement, this is something I really believe in, and that's reading and self-education. I think while I know it's tough to read books cover to cover, what I have found, unless it's a novel, but if it's some kind of a book, maybe learning about programming or business leadership, depending on what it is, you know, maybe it's a book, get to the part that most interests you when your time is constrained. And then you know, this is part of self-education. And then seek feedback and constructive criticism from people who can give you really good and honest feedback. Um, Now, some online resources. YouTube, look to see what skills are in demand, perhaps in any area or areas in general. And then look for courses. There's so many free courses on YouTube and I look at it, it's unbelievable. There's also free audiobooks. So there's some books you can look at completely, or excuse me, not look at, listen to through YouTube completely for free. I think it's astounding. There's also sites like udemy.com, which is has all kinds of training courses. And if you're not sure what you're interested in, I think looking at things like YouTube or Udemy are really good. Udemy has sales on their courses all the time. I don't work for Udemy. I don't have any courses there. I don't make any money from this, but I have bought courses there. And you can learn like anything. And so I think it's also a great tool. If you're not sure what you want, start looking at some of these free or cheap courses. The Udemy courses go down to like between 10 and 15 bucks a course, which I think is pretty reasonable. And then Coursera, I think they have some certificates and theirs is about $50 a month. So it all depends on what your pace is, but I would definitely check out some of those things, hone in on those skills. They've got pretty much anything, presentation skills. They've got technical skills, business skills, marketing, entrepreneurship, just about anything. I suggest giving those a glance. Building resilience in the face of challenges. So embrace those failures. Sometimes we just have to try to learn. So if you don't try, you don't learn, right? And it's a double-edged sword sometimes, but we want to get those experiences in because you figure the more times you fail, then that means you're closer to success because you're building some knowledge there. Develop the problem-solving mindset. So, go back, think of those math skills. We want to, make sure we understand the problem and that we're analyzing things effectively and giving our best go at that. Cultivate a positive mindset. There's so many people that have negative and or what I call fixed mindsets. There's those people who say, this is how it is, this is how it will always be. And what I say is, well, with that attitude, but no, not necessarily. While you have a lot of things seem like it's always going to be that way, not necessarily, because I come back to now our example of COVID. Well, everyone didn't work remotely before COVID, but people were able to switch and change, weren't they? To start working from home and change their behaviors really quickly. So people can change if they want to. Also being grateful for what you have, anytime you make an achievement, maybe you read for an hour, or maybe you got out there and was maybe you got your workout in, or anything you can be grateful for. I think that that's really important. So just some reminders. Um, Confidence and personal development gives us control of our lives. It makes us feel empowered, and allows us to take action. So that's really what I wanted to stress for right now. Any questions? Anyone have anything you wanted me to address?
No,
I'm sorry, did you say no or did you say yes? I'm sorry.
no
Okay.
question.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for coming. And I hope that this has been helpful for you. And I wish you great success.
Thank you.
You're welcome.